The Presidential CEO Forum, which was formally inaugurated by His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on August 24, 2021, and later launched by General Retired Kalebu Akandwanaho, also known as General SALIM Saleh, in July 2025 in Gulu City, has organized an information tour at the Kapeeka Industrial Park in Nakaseke District. The information tour commenced with the CEOs, heads of MDAs, commissioners and other stakeholders visiting several key enterprises within the Kapeeka Industrial Park. These included Goodwill Tiles and Ceramics, a manufacturer utilizing 90% locally sourced materials, Goftaware, best safety wear producer whose products are primarily exported, and Yahe International and Investments, a maize processing facility that sources its raw materials directly from local farmers, among others. Spanning approximately 2,500 acres, which is about 10 square kilometers, Kapeeka Industrial Park currently employs over 3,000 workers in both formal and informal sectors, designed to promote informed dialogue on government achievements, raise awareness of ongoing progress, and bridge the gap between the private sector and government. The Presidential CEO Forum reaffirmed the commitment to strengthening collaboration between government and the private sector. The forum's chairman, Emmanuel Katongole, called for trade and policy incentives to facilitate the replication of the Kapeeka industrial model.
I appeal to all those policy makers who are part of this team to go out. Don't wait for a minister, don't wait for President Museveni to tell you that this policy will help to spur the economy. Think without the box and say that if we put in together this policy, it will enhance the growth of our economy. The
CEO of the Presidential CEO Forum, Ms. Irene Birungi Mugisha, highlighted the visionary leadership of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, whose long-term vision continues to drive Uganda's industrial and economic transformation.
The Presidential CEO Forum is an initiative by His Excellency the President of Uganda, and his main point of having this platform was to give the private sector a platform where they can all come together, but also engage the government. So it's a relationship of private sector, government, and the key strategic actors. So when we speak about the information tour, as you all hear, it's information tour. So it's to bring people to see and get the reality of the story being told at the Kapeeka industry. Kapeeka industry, the industrial park, is one of the other parks. We have about 25 parks that have been designated under Uganda Investment Authority. I think we have 5 or 6 of them in operation. Among them is the Kapeeka Industrial Park. Kapeeka on its own, as you'll hear later on, it has its own historical story. But what we have done, because as our mandate, Presidential CEO Forum, bringing together the strategic corporate CEOs, indigenous and also the ones that are foreign investors, is to come and see what is government doing, yeah? When they talk about propelling or advocating for the industrialization agenda. Can we achieve it? Those are the questions that we want to showcase. And so the 4 industries out of the 28 to 30 industries that are here in the industrial park, they've totally told us the story of export promotion and import substitution, that it's achievable. And that's the message that the President keeps talking about. How can we become a more of export-oriented country and import less? And so the other example is also to be able to tell people that it's possible to have value addition from 0 to 100%. Yeah, having able to have your own raw materials, and you can add value to the end product. You've seen that with mangoes, you've seen that with the ceramics, that's using the different raw materials, that is clay, and you can afford to have the different products that they are producing here. Then, of course, on strategy, the government has changed its way of looking at things. You do not just come up to generate a policy when you have not made the field study. So this is also enabling the decision makers to come and be part of what is that policy that can drive the industrialization agenda, but also drive the private sector-led growth. Also, we've been able to see that it is possible to actually have employment numbers grow. One of the industries, the ceramic industries, is employing over 1,000. These are all Ugandan people who are being given a call of action. First of all, they are learning skills. Those skills will never be taken from anyone. So skill set is grown. There's transformation of their mindset. I am not just going to be a girl at home, but I can be able to earn money that can take me to another level. I talked to one or two of them and they're like, this, I've never even thought about it. But I'm now adding value and I see that I have made or tailored an outfit that's going to be taken to the shelves outside the country. So there's a lot of impact that is being driven. But that impact, we need to create awareness. The reason you're here as media, you're the fourth estate, you're the people who complement what the government is doing. And so creating awareness is one of the main things actually we conduct this information towards. It's create awareness, what is happening, how is it being done, and how else best can we improve on that.
NRM Party's Deputy Secretary General, Right Honorable Rosemary Namayanja, stated that the forum has established a pathway to safeguarding and consolidating the gains that build upon the NRM government's economic achievements.
Time and again, the President has talked about regional integration, has talked about and has supported Pan-African initiatives, because the argument is that yes, Uganda is big, but the market of East Africa is bigger. And that's why a lot has been done to open Uganda, even in its landlocked form. But like Professor Nwagaba was saying, infrastructure, roads particularly, have been constructed from border to border.
General, sir, I'd like to speak about two things. The first one is Kapeeka. Let's call it Kapeeka Industrial Park. This industrial park we've visited, we've seen what they are doing. On a land of 2 square miles, out of which 600 acres are already occupied. Employing close to 20,000 Ugandans. And we saw them. This is not poko talking. We saw them. We went to the ceramic factory and we had 1,200, one single factory, direct. Indirect, every Ugandan employed, there are at least 4 people behind them. They can feed, they can take their children to school, they can dress themselves. That is the sense of building an economy, and that is the sense of Musevenomics. General, sir, you are a transformational leader. The true light that any person can think of, the hope, the light of hope. Please help that we have at least 10 Kapeekas in this country. We have 10 Kapeekas in this country, Uganda will be sorted. I don't want to compare what I've seen today here to Namave Industrial Park. That started when I was a little boy. And this place, in a place where used to be probably maize kasoli plantations, with a revenue of not more than $100,000 a year, and it's now producing millions of dollars to our country. We have 10 of them, our economy will be sorted, and it's something we should all advocate for. Something that we should all fight for. Whether you're a banker, whether you are Movit, you don't sell Movit alone, just go and say, let's do more industrial parks and let's empower them, let's make them work. It should be our responsibility. The second issue, sir, I would like to speak about is the achievements of President Museveni. And I want us to reflect our minds to 1986. My God, I saw this happen because I graduated from Makerere University in 1985. Trade in this country was almost impossible. President Museveni and his government liberalized trade and industrialization. All of us, many of us, if not all of us, are here to look, and we look the way we look because of what President Museveni did. And we should always be thankful. You look at the results.
Government has done very well in Musevenomics here, where we have included, apart from cotton, coffee, the way you have been hearing the president talking about State of the Nation address, the 3 C's. Now we added cocoa. From coffee journal, we earned this year $2.1 billion. Again, a very big round of applause to our coffee farmers. Actually, this is the one which has made us knock down. This is the dollar we have given. The dollar has been given a complete knockout, as we have been seeing. So how we have done it, very strong monetary policy tools which we have in the bank. There are 5 of them. Even last week we introduced another one. Commercial banks know it's an SDF. Apart from SAREH, we also introduced an SDF. But largely, apart from our strong monetary policy tools, 5 of them, interbank, sell buyback, repos, reverse ones, SAREH, introduced SDF, commercial coffee. We want big round of applause to coffee. Coffee subsector. The coffee subsector value chain is $136 billion. $136 billion globally. But since Uganda was created in 1894, we had never crossed even 1% of this value chain. The earning of more than 1% of the value chain was done this year. Because $2.1 billion divided by 136. At least we have, I think, to be very specific, 1.41% of the entire value chain of 136 billion. Coffee have done very, very well. And also cocoa, gold has done us wonders as well. Gold, we have earned $4.8 billion. So the Bank of Uganda is going to buy gold as well. And we are ready. We are going to start buying gold. The only problem with the gold there is that also when you look at this current account itself, its export-import difference is little. Why? Tracking it. It means the gold now refinery we have, if the gold we sell is not the exact gold which we add as a raw material. So there was an issue there where we are going to ensure that we track it and the country can earn enough money from gold. But we have done very well on diversification, coffee, cocoa, simsim, flowers, fish, milk. Milk has done wonders. All of these are products we have added. Monetization of the subsistence economy has done very well. This is why we have PDM.
If you want to be a leader, you must take on the role that a doctor takes on. That you can never prescribe medicine without diagnosing. You diagnose the problem or the sickness, understand the causes, and then prescribe the medicine that will lead to curing the disease. And indeed, this is what President Museveni, General SALEH, and many of our revolutionaries did. Under the leadership of the president, they diagnosed at the time the problems of Uganda. And they knew how to handle it. So the Musevenomics principles and pillars did not come by accident. After diagnosing, it was informed by the issues at the moment where Uganda was before 1986. Political and economic instability and everything. And for them to put into practice, or for them to be able to prescribe the medicine, they had to make the sacrifices of liberating whatever they went through to liberate this country from political instability and economic doldrums. And no other place that provided the launch pad of that it was this area where we are, in the Luelo, Nakaseke area and other areas. And that started with a 10-point program. That's where it all started from. And the 10-point program was informed by the NRM ideology, which is anchored on 4 enduring core principles.
Our country is still a virgin land, a virgin area really. The efforts being made by General SALEH, we can really applaud it. And that is the effort which all of you as Chief Executive must do, to see that you leave a mark in whatever you are doing. Leave a mark, make sure that the institution, you live in a better shape than you found it there, and so on. Each time I come to General SAREH, I learn something new. You know, this, whatever he does, he actually reads much more than many of us. He reads a lot and is full of positive ideas of development. And I think we are lucky to have him amongst us, and most of us will be listening from him and get some good information.
That book is the one which influenced my thinking of how Europe underdeveloped Africa. And I think it has gone off shelf. I don't know why it has just disappeared. That was 1978, when I was 18 years old. You know, when you read something, at that age it keeps inside you wherever you go. People who are below 40 read that book. As a result of that book, I had an urge to find out. Now, that one was my own thinking. Land acquisition, loan assistance. As soon as when I was lucky to join the executive as a junior minister in the Ministry of Finance, we developed 3 products. One was the RFSP, the SACO under Dr. Suruma. The second product was SCF, Agriculture Credit Facility. The third one was the Chapa loan. So I want commitments from for me, I'm not a politician, I ask direct. They told me Stanbic is here, ABSA, DFCU, please let us work together and we actualize this Chapa loan. Industrial park has worked, yes, but outside the industrial park, I have a conflicted land there of about 5 square miles. That's where all the housing for the workers of the industrial park, that's where they would be staying. But it is conflicted. It belongs to a landlord, it is squatted on, and we don't know how to deconflict it. We have waited for the land fund, but the land fund is also working, it's working behind schedule. So I want you, the bankers, to study this Chapa loan. Because the moment you give him his title on a mile land, the next day he will start building a house, a permanent house. We have deconflicted about 824 acres behind there. That's where I'm staying now. I'm no longer interested in this park. The park is history. All of you are excited about the park, but for me, it's chapter closed. So we have transferred out of that paper which I wrote in 2009, just dreaming, we have been able to reshape that estate there into a nucleus farm, and then the Wananchi got their small titles. And if we could develop a financial product for that, this meeting of today, 17th of October, would be remembered. So CEO Forum, I want your bankers who are present here today to make a resolution on that. all this rugezgezi of praising SALIM, SAREH, this Kapeeka industrial estate is not my own making alone. For me, I was at that scale of micro thinking. You can see that was the original design of Kapeeka. Small scale, rural industrial center. So 2015, the president calls me. SAREH, where are you? I'm in Kapeeka. Okay. I've sent you people, you give them land. Imagine my maize garden, the way I was looking at it and thinking that so I said, so for how much? He says, you talk to them. So they came, and I calculated in my head, how can I trap these people? For me, I will be a guerrilla until I die, so nothing can change that. So I calculated, I said, let me trap these guys. They think all of us are, they didn't know that I had read How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. So I told them, guys, out of the 2,020 acres, I'm going to give you 1,280 acres for $1. I had made the biggest calculation any guerrilla commander can make. For them they say, this man, I don't know whether Zhang is here. Because whenever I tell him the plan I used to capture him, he says, you are dangerous. So I allowed them. I saw the first road, I saw the first factory, the second factory, the third factory. So the guy came to me and said, now where is the land title? I said, yeah, the land title is there, you take it. No, I told him, I cannot give you this land title, it has to be given to you by Minister of Finance. Because I wanted insurance, I had to cover myself by Mzee Kaseja. Now when I asked Kaseja, what do I have in this industry? He says, you have everything. I said, no, you are the one who should tell me what I have. So I gave the title to Kaseja, the Chinese ambassador there, and myself there. So they didn't know my plan. Now when the factories reached like 15, then we started debating now. Because they have already put the 15 industries here. They can't shift them. So I'm the one now pulling all the strings. I can pull one string and So that is the story of Namunkekere. There is nothing magical about it, except how do you leverage land with investments. Now I can ask for any price, because they cannot shift. Can they shift these industries away from here? No. It's very difficult. So when you see people seated on land, like he's an elephant. In Acholi you have about 6 elephants. He's one of the elephants. If you see the people, the land these people are seated on, oh, my sister there in Karamoja, land, SAREH has come to grab our land, SAREH has come to do this. For me, I'm not a land grabber, I am a land developer. I'm an expert in land development. Yeah. So my job is to convert land, whether it is conflicted or free, from being a liability into an asset. That is the Namunkekere story. There is nothing so much about it. That was not enough. That's not enough, because even if you developed these 20, 30, 40 industrial parks, they will not help to fight household poverty. That's why we had to look for another activity called PDM. Now under PDM you can see October 2025, we have more than 3.5 trillion shillings in the villages. And we are very worried about the management of the outputs. Because even if these people drink 30% or misuse 30% of the money, the impact of the 70% in the next 2-3 years is going to be overwhelming. The problem we have, and I was escorted by my experts. I don't know where the scientists are. I was arguing with them. Why are you disconnected from the private sector? Because those guys have developed so much science, but they don't have capacity to commercialize the science. So I told them, I'm taking you to the CEO's forum. Be careful, because those guys may stone you. They said yes, they were a bit shy, they were scared. I told you, you become warriors like I was before I grew old. So they swallowed the fear and they came. Because the disconnection between the narrow and the private sector is very worrying. It is like the disconnection between local governments and the investors. There is a big disconnection. And it is almost like the disconnection between the political class and you, the private sector. The way I have pushed Honorable Namayanja, this group is so important. Get hold of them, because they are the ones who produce most of the wealth, not the government. So I'm glad she's very adaptive. She grabbed the idea very quickly, and I told her, from today, stop looking at these people whom you have to pay money to come and attend your rallies. Spend more time with the productive forces, because they are the ones who are really producing goods, jobs, etc. So I don't have much to say today except to show off. As you can see, I'm showing off. And people are beginning to understand me.
So in many ways, the president has been like a prophet with very few disciples. So his message is floating in the wind. A few people pick it up, it enters their ears, and then they are able to change their lives, change the lives of their families, and even change their communities. It is what the president is doing is like, rescuing valuables from a burning house. He just throws everything out in the hope that some will survive, others may break. But it is still a rescue effort, and it is the right thing that a head of state should do. And General SAREH is an amplifier of that message. And we are happy that he has camped here in Gulu. That means resources also. Even those who have been avoiding coming to Gulu now have to come to Gulu whether they like it or not, because General SAREH is here. There are some people who thought Gulu was not worth visiting. So I believe that northern Uganda, and particularly Gulu, which is the capital of northern Uganda, can actually become the Dubai.
Now you can see the person who is describing me now is not from my own side. But these ones of NRM, they keep quiet, let SAREH die alone, let SAREH die alone. So, but for me, I'm an evolving character. So, you saw Chari Wange Chagulanyi also passed a message around here. Said, Chari Wange, yo mubi wataka. I said, but Chari. Chari Wange. From Bitwa beach. He had a beach in Busabala, nga beach yange Erigaruga. He had his own beach in Busabala, and for me, I was in Garuga. But for me, when the spirit of Kapeeka came, I sold the one in Garuga and moved to Kapeeka. So Chariche Yabadangamba such teged, I didn't. Because in terms of land grabbing, he may even be a bigger land grabber than me. So that one we are going to fight it, but I want, the most important thing I wanted as a take home for the banks. Please help me and we think through this chapter loan. It may become a liberation tool for the wananchi who are under bondage of Bivanja holders. And you can transform those Bivanja holders from no production to actually full production. If you visit where I'm staying now, the 301 beneficiaries of the CHAP have built permanent houses. I think I had a video when they were playing it here. So it is very easy to conceive a 10-year period. You pay off the landowner so that he can do other things, and then the mwananchi gets the title. And I think development will take very quick shape.
Present at the event were cabinet ministers, Honorable Hilary Onek, Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga and Honorable Esther Anyakuni, alongside the company CEOs, heads of government agencies, and prominent business leaders from the private sector, among others. The Presidential CEO Forum plans to roll out similar information tours across other industrial and economic zones, aiming to deepen the private sector's appreciation of government programs and encourage CEOs to identify opportunities that support Uganda's socio-economic transformation.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
I don't settle for the surface. I go deeper.